Happy Saturday! This is Lo Mein.
And this is the even-tempered Esther Jade.
And this is the Gurl Whet
podcast.
All right, y'all. So today's episode, we switching it up a little bit because y'all know usually we have Gurl Whet in each of our episode titles. But today, this one is simply called Fellas, Y'all All Right?
In her Erykah Badu voice. Yeah. Fellas, are y'all all right? That's a very good question. And that leads us into our first segment, What's the Tea, Sis? Where we'll be talking about the male loneliness epidemic with a little bit of tea, okay? Oh, yes. Yes. So by now, 2026, we are familiar with the male loneliness crisis, as some people, or epidemic, as some people would say. When I first read the Psychology Today article, Why So Many Young Males Are Single and Sexless in the Summer of 2023, I wasn't surprised to learn that more than 60% of young men are currently single, according to a Pew Research Center study. The article also noted that sexual intimacy is at a 30-year low across all genders. To me, it felt as though society was standing at the edge of a precipice, aware that something fundamental was shifting, but unsure how to name it. And then it wasn't a surprise until May 2024 when I read Bell Hooks' The Will to Change Men, Masculinity, and Love that I fully understood why so many men are single and sexless. So just to be clear, women across the globe are increasingly choosing singleness and sexual abstinence as a means of self-protection from male behavior shaped by imperialist, white, supremacist, capitalistic patriarchy. What we can simply call patriarchy. So Hook defines patriarchy as a political social system that insists that males are inherently dominating, superior to everything and everyone deemed weak, especially females, and endowed with the right to dominate and rule over the weak and to maintain that dominance through various forms of psychological terrorism and violence. Does that sound familiar, y'all?
Very.
So crucially, Hooks also speaks to how patriarchy harms men themselves. She writes, the first act of violence that patriarchy demands of males is not violence towards women. Instead, patriarchy demands of all males that they engage in acts of psychic self-mutilation, that they kill off the emotional parts of themselves. So this psychic self-mutilation, the suppression of vulnerability, joy, grief, and relational depth is at the core of why so many men experience profound loneliness, isolation, and disconnection from themselves and others. So another of Hook's insights helps frame this moment with clarity. The crisis facing men is not the crisis of masculinity. It is the crisis of patriarchal masculinity. Until we make this distinction clear, men will continue to fear that any critique of patriarchy represents a threat. And this distinction matters. It shifts the conversation away from individual failure and towards a system. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. A system that rewards emotional suppression and promotes distorted, unsustainable definitions of manhood. And what is the cost of that suppression, right? Hooks answers plainly, patriarchy has denied males access to full emotional well-being. Men are imprisoned by a system that undermines their mental health. So if we are willing to sit with that truth, to engage honestly with how patriarchy produces male loneliness and emotional isolation, we open the door to something transformative. Now, not just healing for men, but a pathway forward, collective liberation in the next stage of our human evolution. So when I read that book by Bell Hooks, it really connected. So when this has become at the forefront, I think, the male loneliness epidemic really sprouted last year or maybe the end of 2024. Lo, what are your thoughts on the so-called epidemic?
I honestly had never heard of it. So this is definitely, very new to me. Y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all this because I like to joke on myself. Like, of us two, I'm going to say Esther's a bookworm. And she tells me a lot, so.
But you're a bookworm too.
No, my bookworm is on a different level. I really didn't start reading, or listening to books until last year, truthfully.
Really?
Like, before then, it was like, nah.
I thought you were true to it.
No,
new to it.
I'm new to it.
Okay.
Yes, very much so. I'm trying to be true this year, though. But just listening to what you were saying, and this may or may not be in conjunction, but it's funny, it's not even a week ago. That's what makes it even worse. Not even a week ago, I gave this gentleman my number. Mm-hmm. Actually, no. And I keep saying I gave him my number. I did not give him my number. He gave me his number. Let me say that. And I was hesitant about reaching out to him, but my gut was like, you just need to reach out to him because clearly, now that I'm saying this out loud, it's a bunch of red flags, okay? So let me preface this by saying that too. But, he came in through the pantry. And just for those who don't know, I'm talking about the food pantry that I volunteer at. And, of course, I try not to judge anybody based off of their situation coming in there because clearly the, with even the results of the shutdown, a lot of people are still looking for work or things have changed, right? So this was his first time in there. So he's like, he came up, he was like, oh, yeah, my name's such and such. You're really attractive. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm not trying to, me. I said, what did I say? Oh my God, now I can't think about it. But I remember it said, come correct. So he came correct.
I like
that. Come one, come all, but come correct.
That's right.
So, I was like, he approached me like a gentleman. And I'm like, okay. And so then, he was like, if I give you my number, will you use it? And I'm like, we'll see. I'm not saying a yes or a no for sure. So I eventually...
You should say, give me a reason. But go ahead.
What'd you say?
You should say, give me a reason to use the number.
So then, I hit him up and... I find out, first of all, he's younger than me. I'm not typically one who entertains anybody younger than me. So then he's acting as though we are already talking or in a talking stage. And when I tell y'all this man ended up being a psycho, well, let me back it up. I found out that he was living in a hotel. He did not have a job, nor did he have a car. So those are already 3 red flags, right? But then on top of that, we're again, I'm not responding to you. You're not my man.
He having a whole conversation by himself.
That part, for real. So then, my body doesn't like me, and sometimes when I drink caffeine, I'm up very late. So one night, I happened to be up. It was 3:00 in the morning, and this man is texting me. I don't respond, first of all. So when the morning comes, I respond and I'm like, first and foremost, let me tell you, 3:00 in the morning for you to text me is crazy. So in the future, if it's after 10 o'clock and you have something you want to say to me, you can wait until the next day because I'm not your savior. I don't know you well enough to even have you trying to call me for any type of an emergency. So there's no reason for you to be texting me at 3:00 in the morning. So then he goes on to have his conversations and all this stuff. And then the very next day, I wake up 4:00 in the morning, there is a text message. Mind you, this is after, and the crazy thing is I had not told, so this was Saturday, because I was telling you offline, Saturday was very busy for me. This man is texting me, again, having a conversation with himself, texting, and I'm not responding. So then I guess he got the hint, I have a life. I have a way to get around. Even though I may not drive myself, I have friends that'll take me around and we can do things. 4:00 in the morning, wake up, see the text message. I don't respond at all. Later on yesterday evening, I sent this man a nice text message. I was very polite. And pretty much to sum it up, I said, you clearly don't know how to respect boundaries that I've already told you about. So from here on out, you don't need to contact me. The only thing I had done, because earlier he was like, pretty much saying that he was interested in the possibility of getting to know me. And I had pissed him off then because I know I responded saying, well, hey, because he had also said, when can we hang out? And that's when I told him, I said, you don't drive and I don't drive. So the only place I can know we could hang out is at church.
Come to Sunday service.
Listen, and that's exactly what I did. I said, hey, here's Liberation's phone number. If you need a ride, you can call them. Make sure I gave him all the information that was needed, right? And so then after that, and I was like, and there are a bunch of beautiful women at Liberation that, are that.
Oh, don't do that to them.
No. But, and that's what I'm saying. Hey, because, and I'm not even being funny, but because Liberation is not just, I don't want to say it's not the typical church, but it's not, because we have people that are in like different programs and stuff like that. So y'all might both be on the same level and y'all can help each other build up. So that's what I'm saying like that. And and it's a bunch of people like that. And in some situations, people like that, it's a form of trauma bonding, but hey, if that's what you want, beautiful. I'm not into that.
Well, it sounds like he tried to do, love bombing.
Yeah, for sure.
And that is a strong indicator of a homosexual.
And that's what I was like. So then when I sent him that message yesterday, I was like, I'm glad you got the point and you didn't try to reach out to me anymore. But the thing is, yes, single and sexless, you acting like a psycho, who gonna want you?
So that leads into how has the patriarchal masculinity shaped the way men approach friendship, intimacy, and vulnerability? Based off of that story.
They don't. Well, they don't shape it because let me say for him, he not shaping it because it's all over the place.
So I guess in a way, this system, right, cuts men off from actually getting in touch with their vulnerability.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, this is the mission. This is what I got to do. And you don't take in the fact, there's no factor into someone else's wants and needs or even boundaries, which is extremely important.
For sure.
Okay? What do you think men misunderstand about why women are opting out of traditional relationships?
No, that part I don't think. I'm going to say this. Of course, when we have these conversations, we're not talking about all men, but for many, I do think. But a huge misunderstanding is the fact that they don't know how to communicate. So that is a huge turnoff. And it's like, okay, if I find things in you that I don't feel that will keep me secure or even how you say, if it's not something that's going to help me in my house, like it
doesn't serve me.
Why do I need it? So in that case, women have found how to build their own house, how to be the feminine and the masculine energy in the home, because we'd rather unfortunately be overstimulated with everything we have to do but not have to worry about the stress of a man who thinks he can do it but is building with straw rather than with bricks, and everything's going to fall over and fall down.
I think that men are still and so I know that it's not all men, but it's enough where that multiple countries on continents, women are opting out. So we know this is an issue. It's a long time coming, right? It is the worst kept secret. Yeah. And I think what men misunderstand is they keep using the same plays out of the playbook.
That part.
They don't want to change. They've been groomed to think that everything goes my way or I can force it. And that's the misunderstanding.
Or say, just to kind of piggyback off of that, like you, again, me halfway having my heart on my sleeve, right? Like I will be submissive for the right man. But the key thing is being submissive to the right man does not mean that you need to be controlling. Because if you're controlling, that's, again, going to turn me all the way off. And I'm going to get back into my mode of kind of like, no, like, I don't need you. I can do this on my own. Don't tell me what to do.
Exactly. So if men were allowed full emotional humanity, how do you think our relationships, families, and communities would change?
I would first say they need to have counseling.
Well, yes. So say they went through all of that and they accessed their full emotional humanity. How do you think all of those things in our worlds would change?
I think it could almost, even though I see right now utopia as a facade, I honestly think that could be something that we could be close to. Because, again, once you make the changes that you need, that makes a huge difference. And we know that for ourselves. So with everyone, if you get that, cherry on top and everything is good, all, the cupcake is perfect, then yeah, nothing is perfect, but I close to perfect.
Men would realize that women are not the enemy. We are not to be controlled. Like, they'll realize they're being controlled.
Yeah.
Which we could get into later when we come back from break.
Yes. Y'all stick around. Hey, welcome back, y'all. Thanks for sticking around. This is Lo Main.
And this is Esther Jade.
All right. So we are going to jump right into our second segment titled Love, Baby, and Other Grown Folks Business. So today we are going to hear a little bit more. If you've been sticking around with us, you've heard these before. But we are doing Diary of a Girl Whet. And we're going to have Miss Esther Jade read a couple of entries from her. I don't even know how to call it, but I'm going to call it her man diary.
Okay.
So we are going to hear these stories, and we are going to have a few conversations about them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Esther, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Women's boundaries aren't the villain. Okay? I'll say that one more time. Women's boundaries aren't the villain. All right, so we're going to pick up where I last left off. There was, just for those who don't know, in this man diary, as Lo so affectionately calls it, I have come up with code names for these men that I have interacted with on dating sites or on dates or in real life, and I give them names of fruit, but otherwise, everything else is true as far as age, race, and how we connected. So this one is named Aki. He was 40, black, and we connected on Hinge. So Aki and I connected on Hinge over his comment about Law and Order's SVU. He's currently working as a HR investigator, but was once a prison assistant warden who worked death row with John Muhammad, a.k.a. the DC Sniper.
One half.
Yeah. Speaking of men doing diabolical things, he enjoys watching wrestling, WWE, loves comics, and knows how to cook. His favorite meal to cook is spaghetti and shrimp. I've asked for his most prolific prison stories, but he wants to save it for our in-person interaction. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and not label him low effort. We've agreed to meet. I'm awaiting time confirmation. He canceled the same day as a tentative meetup. He never rescheduled, and when expressed my status as an intentional dater and how I felt, he displayed low effort. He admitted to being a low-key guy. I gave him the pink slip. The end.
Lay sigh is all I can say. Lay sigh.
Yeah. There's a lot of those in here. A lot of. Okay, next one. Raspberry. He's in his 50s. He's white. Connected on Love Story Dating group that I used to be a part of. Raspberry and I connected on a members event for a Love Story Dating group. He's older and supposedly recently divorced. He asked me out for drinks, and we scheduled to meet at the, I'm not going to say the place, a nice little drink joint, okay? And upon speaking to the organizer of Love Story Dating, Raspberry told her that his divorce is pending. He told me he had been divorced for a month. Is he a liar? So I surveyed his Facebook page. He had made a very concerning statement about the war in Israel and how it isn't about occupation and oppression. I'm still going for drinks, but we'll softball a question about the conflict. Now, Lauren, Lo, you know me. Your eyes got big there. So he canceled plans and asked to reschedule because we were supposed to meet at 6 p.m. on that Friday, and the day before at 9:17 p.m. he canceled plans and asked to reschedule a day during the week. I told him I'm available on Wednesday evening, awaiting a response. So the next day, he never responded, but after I talked to an ALSD creator, I decided to block him and move on. The end. So I don't do the rescheduling because I've learned after I've had conversations with people that men are doing that when they are canceling at the very last minute or near the last minute and they're not rescheduling. They're testing your boundaries with you to see if you'll accept it so they can do that. And they're really not trying to go out with you. They're just trying to make a false relationship online. So they'll be like, hey, you want to come over and Netflix and chill? I don't even let it go that far. Because if they literally don't reschedule, boom, click.
But let's look. I'm going to say, let's go back to the first one. What's this? A key?
Or is it, like an Aki food?
Acai?
But
that's Aki. ACAI?
No, ACKEE.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you. So he said he was low-key, right? Was that a turnoff for you?
Yes, because I'm high maintenance.
But this is my thing. One thing that I have learned, right? A lot of men, and even, I'm going to say, and I'll say even some women, they'll say that they're low key, right? But once they find that person, they will change their actions for that particular person. But again, it's like, you're not going to waste your energy on the wrong person, correct? Or you don't want to waste your energy on the wrong person.
So when I'm dating, I date with intention. When I was dating, I dated with intention.
Right.
So like the late, great Maya Angelou said, when they show you who they are the first time, believe them. Men tell us all the time exactly what they want. And I don't, well, maybe he'll change. Nope. Okay. Click. Bye.
But
So
I was about to say,
women do that.
I've
what
seen
you're describing.
But no, I've seen it personally, and honestly, I can say with my mom and stepdad. Like my stepdad, honestly, from when they first met and up until like now, and they're going on like, dang, they'll be married 10 years this year. I just thought about that. But you know what I'm saying? Like over these years, like he has definitely, I could tell he probably would have considered himself laid back, like, you know, low key type of person. But like even now, it's like, you know, sometimes it takes a woman, and I know this is you'll probably be like, well, that ain't me. But like, you know what I'm saying? It takes that right person to light that spark in them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, he might be low key now, but even if it's something where I know you work your butt off or do, you know what I'm saying? You are very active with everything you love and that is close to you. So if someone sees that in you and they're like, dang, like, if she's doing that, then that's the level I need to be on. I'm saying because of like, that's my woman. Like, I don't want, and it's unfortunate, and this is how I'm going to say it, but he's not going to be like, well, I don't want her to think that she's doing everything on her own. So let me step up with what I'm doing kind of mentality. So I hear he said he's laid back, but that could have just
he
been
said
for
he's
him.
low effort, low key effort.
But did he say low key effort or did he say low key?
He said, I quote, a low key guy.
Right. So that's not low effort.
Nothing in my profile said that I wanted a low key guy. Click, boom.
But did it say I am opposed to low key men?
I don't need to say that. Everything about me says, nope.
You
I made it clear who I am.
We are dealing with men, though, and when I say that, what I'm saying,
no, they were dealing with me. Let's just put it that way.
No. But we're on. Were you on a profile? In a dating? Okay. So on a dating app.
Well, actually, that was through a group.
Okay.
But
that one was also through another group. Oh.
No, this one was the first one. No, you're right. The first one was through Hinge. Sorry.
Yeah. So I was about to say again. Well, let me say for me personally, I try not to assume anything.
Okay.
So y'all, I wish y'all could see how she's looking at me. But I try not to make any assumptions.
Y'all, I'm unfazed.
Hashtag unfazed to the umpteenth power. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, because I know you did probably write a lot and were very specific with what your intentions were, what you were looking for, et cetera, et cetera. So with men, typically on apps, they're not going to do all that.
What?
Like, give full detail. Like, if you're saying I'm a low-key, and I hate to bring our engineer into this kind of sort of, but he is a male, right? So
he's a different kind of male.
But still, but it could be a male perspective type of thing, right? So if a male says that he's low-key.
Spain.
Would
you want to use my mic? Hold on.
If a male says he's low-key, in general, how do you think a woman should take that?
Sorry.
Look, not the.
Sorry.
My bad.
Look, so me personally, I'm speak for women, but I can't speak for women, right? All of them are different. I wouldn't take it that way. I take low key. If I heard low key, I was just think, he's kind of maybe has his stuff together and just is not out there like that. I mean,
right.
That doesn't mean he's not doing what you want him to do or could possibly do what you want him to do, like she said. Y'all date. I see this person is like this. Okay, so let me step it up a notch. Let me do this because I know she's like that. Hashtag unfazed.
Right. Y'all, I wish this was the episode where hold on. I think I'm going to have to take a picture just Just so we can post it.
So let me run the recording back. He never rescheduled. When expressed my status as a intentional dater and how I felt he displayed low effort, he admitted to being a low-key guy. So essentially when I told him I'm an intentional dater, he said, well, I don't want to make that much effort. Okay? So he told me exactly what I needed to hear. He told me he won't try to do that. So I said, deuces. Deuces. Look, I don't argue with babies and fools. He said what he said. I listened. Goodbye.
Touche.
Mm-hmm. So listen.
Touche.
Nobody can say Anita.
You telling on yourself.
I know. Esther Jade don't listen because I listen very, very well. I'm gonna do one more. One more. This one's short too. Walnut, 59, Black American.
Sorry.
Black American, and I'm connected with him on Hinge. Walnut and I connected on Hinge on February 1st. He has an affinity for riding motorcycles. He may smoke cigars. Yuck. And is a dog person. His motorcycle club is, I'm not going to mention it, his name. And he has at least 2 children. He loves football, and he's a retired official from a branch of the military. Officer, I should say. That's what he said, but I don't believe him. Because the rank he gave is a little too high, and I don't believe that. Both of my parents were in the military, so I know a little something about that. Sometimes people put things up to make it seem more distinguished than they are.
Yeah.
A self-proclaimed lifelong educator and taught JROTC for a decade. When I said, "Morning, Walnut, what are you like in person?" Asking for a friend, smirk. His response, "Good morning. Would you like to exchange numbers? I can show you better than I can tell you." I said, WTF. Like, there's nothing I can't stand worse is when I ask a question and you don't answer it.
That part.
Like, you don't listen. So guess what? That's already irritated me.
Yeah.
It already irritated me. But I said, my retort, do we need to exchange numbers to meet in real life? He goes, no, would love to meet. I said, and I don't give my number or all of that. Like, I want to be able to meet the person to see if we gel, like if we have a vibe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's then on that vibe check, if it sounds pretty good or feels pretty good, I'll give you my number maybe, if I'm given a reason to. Anyway,
and even then, it probably isn't your real number.
No, it isn't. Because, women be getting killed and smacked in the face for not giving their numbers. We scheduled to meet for drinks at 7 p.m. on February 2nd. He cancels last minute due to having to take his sick child to the ER. Food poisoning. He hasn't rescheduled the meetup. I will see what he says in the next 24 to 48 hours. I stated to Walnut that he displayed low effort vibrations, and that wasn't my jam. His response, I understand. Hard eye roll. The end. So there's a theme here, right?
That's what you attract.
No, it's not. This is what men are like. This is not just my experience. There's a lot of women experiences where they're men who don't actually want to meet up with you in person. They want to do this fake relationship over technology so they can say, you want to Netflix and chill. They're trying to fake a pseudo relationship so they can fast track to the bedroom. Look. So that's one of the other reasons. It didn't matter if I met men in person or if I met men on the apps.
Yeah.
I'm having conversations with women in person, women on the internet. This is just a variation of what I said these last things or what other women are going through. Yeah. Some of them worse. And I can thank God that I didn't go through worse. So anyway, that was
ghetto. Ghetto men diary chronicle.
Superstar.
Yes. So y'all, if y'all enjoy Esther telling her Diary of a Girl What stories from her man diary, y'all let us know, because definitely, we can have more episodes where she's reading out of them, because y'all, I promise y'all, she has an entire diary.
Yes, wild stuff too. So hit us up on IG at Girl What Podcast.
Yes.
Or on YouTube at Girl What Podcast.
Yes.
To let us know if you want to hear more about Diary of a Girl What.
Yes, and we'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. Hey, fellas, y'all all right? That is what we are discussing this day and this time. Okay. So this your girl O'Main.
And I am Esther Jade.
And we just want to thank y'all for sticking around. Cause you know what, y'all could have been anywhere you wanted to be, but you chose to be here with us, and we appreciate that.
Yes.
Huh?
We are so deeply appreciative that you join us for this conversation. We're going to head into our last segment, The Group Chat Got Deep, where we're going to discuss a topic called accountability and reconnection. But before we get into these questions, Lo and I want to be clear about the spirit of this conversation. This isn't about blame or defensiveness. It's about growth. When we talk about accountability in the male loneliness epidemic, we're not here to shame men or excuse harm. We're here to tell the truth with care. And the second part of this segment is about imagining something beyond critique. What would it look like if accountability led to connection instead of conflict? If emotional responsibility became a bridge rather than a burden? So let's consider how women and men might begin to reconnect in healthier, more honest ways. So let's get into it.
Yeah. All right, girl. So I'm going to start off.
Okay.
We're going to do accountability without shame.
Okay.
Where do men have to take responsibility for unlearning emotional isolation?
Well, first of all, they need to do that amongst themselves. Because as women, we do that all the time. Where I find that in general that women will huddle together and we'll share our stories. I know I'm very honest.
Yeah.
Especially, my circle will entrust me with, their, I won't say deepest, darkest secrets, but they're just being vulnerable, and I'm honest, right? I'm not trying to tear them down, but because I want to see the best for them. So I'm going to give them an honest critique of what I see, right? Just like I expect that of my friends and family, to be honest. So I think that it starts with them together as a group, unlearning the emotional isolation, having men's group where you feel safe, where you can be vulnerable. I think that's the start.
And being okay with being called out. And I like to tell people all the time, if it's real, the truth is can hurt, right?
Of course.
But it's with good
a lie
intentions.
hurts worse.
Right, exactly. But it's like, you get that truth, but it hurts you and it stings because it's like, dang, like they really telling me the truth. Like, while I may not have wanted to hear this is real talk. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, even, just taking that accountability for your part in where you are in the situation.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's something that I can see a lot of men try to run away from it. And it's like,
or blame someone else.
Yeah, but to say run away or play the blame game. And so just kind of piggybacking off of what Esther said, it's just take a look within yourself. And I laugh, sorry, because I was about to say N-word, but then people be thinking you think about the about the other thing. But yeah, once you take a look inward, just you'll be able to see and you'll understand, like, this is what I need to do for myself, to better myself for others as well.
Yeah. What's the difference between being lonely and being unavailable?
I was about to bust out singing. That wasn't even what came to my mind. That's the sad part. What is the difference between being lonely and being unavailable?
Do you want to know what I think?
I was about to say, to me, and this is to me, I think being unavailable should be a choice that you make when you know that you're not in the space to allow anybody else in. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there are a lot of men who think they're lonely, but in all actuality, they need to be unavailable because then it goes back to that first statement. You need to look within yourself. You need to make sure you're good internally before you even try to label and say, oh, I'm lonely. Oh, I'm unavailable. Both can be true at the same time. But again, most of it is going to be because you are unhealed, trying to see what you can do out here in the world with everybody else when you haven't even looked to see what you can do within yourself to better yourself for the possibility of other people.
Well, I think being lonely has to do with companionship, while being unavailable speaks to your emotional insecurity, right? How do men unintentionally push people away while craving closeness.
Well, I can go back to tell you about Psycho, right?
Oh, Lord.
So the thing is, again, I don't right. I don't like talking on the phone, right?
I know this.
Shout out to the call centers. They have traumatized me, right? So I am a texter. And so again, if you're giving me your phone number at my grown age and your grown age, I don't think I'm wrong in assuming you're wanting to get to know about me and vice versa, right? So I'm asking you questions about yourself, about your story, about your situation. And like one of the first things, he was like, why are you asking me so many personal questions? Again.
Hit dog hollered.
Loud. But then I'm like, sir, because y'all, I can get real nice nasty.
We have a hit dog hollered button.
I'll make it myself. But listen, like I'm like, and I sit here and I try to be so nice to people, but once you push that big red button that say don't push, like you then messed it up for yourself. So I said to him, I said, well, sir, maybe I'm making an assumption that's incorrect. And I was like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but you gave me your number with intentions of wanting to get to know me. So I'm asking you these questions to get to know you. So if you are trying to not answer these questions and kind of build a bridge or a wall, that's definitely something that you can do, but you can do it by yourself. I'm not going to waste my time trying to put Band-Aids on whatever wounds you haven't healed.
Trying to put Band-Aids on bullet holes.
Listen, and it's still gushing blood. No, sir. We don't. I'm nobody's RN. I'm nobody's. No. I'm not your mama. None of that. So you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. It's like, you put up that wall because you don't. Again, because you're unhealed. But then you're like, oh, I want this. I want that. Oh, I want to be loved. Well,
but what about them loving someone else? That's the other part of a relationship. Like, I know for me, I can only speak for me, that if I'm going to go into a relationship, I know what I have to offer. Usually the things that I lay out that I need from a partner are those same things that I give. And I would never, when I say I was an intentional dater, that means obviously the relationship would benefit them too. So I have them in mind. Yeah. And I think that's the part that's missing from the dating. But let's reimagine connection, what healing could look like. What would male friendship look like if it wasn't built on competition, trauma bonding, or avoidance?
It's beautiful. I have my best friend. I love him to death. And you know what I'm saying? None of that is there. And I think, and the funny thing is, it's like, of course, I've seen him grow because we've known each other since high school. So that's almost 21 years. Actually, no, it is 21 years. So he is initially from the Bronx, was a blood, hardcore, all this stuff. So he had to put up this wall. And it's not funny, but it's funny to me. Let me say that. It's funny to me. I remember, me being who I am, 100%, no filter. I said, you're stupid for being in a gang. I said, you're going to get shot, and I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I said that to him, right?
Shot, no chaser.
Okay.
Boom.
So I remember he called me one day. He was like, I effing hate you.
Oh.
And I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm laying in a hosptal. I got shot 3 times.
Because you were right.
And I was like, and that's the thing. And honestly, a trauma brought us together, but that wasn't the trauma bond. It was like, I respect you for keeping it real with me. And I know that I can depend on you for that. And that's what it's been, even to this day. Even to this day. I laugh because with our relationship, he don't know how to keep his pants up, if you get my drift, right? But he has his girlfriend. They have 3 beautiful daughters. He calls me low. Let me tell you what I did. And I'm like, why? Why are you still calling me saying this stuff? At the same time. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? He respects me. He listens to me because he understands that I want what's best for him at the end of the day. And it's like, he still has that soft spot, but it's like, sir, because I am your friend and this is a genuinely built friendship, it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear. You can get pissed off at me whenever you want to, but at the end of the day, we still love each other. And I know if you mad at the moment, in a couple of weeks, you're going to call me back. Yo, I just wanted to check up on you and MJ, see how y'all doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of thing. So when you put out everything else, it's a beautiful thing can happen and a beautiful thing can blossom.
Well, I think male friendship would mirror a lot like what women.
Yeah.
You know, you're not afraid to be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. You're calling people in. You're not allowing your ego to have you tripping into a state of violence.
Yep.
Because it's not meant to be violent. But because men have, again, in that definition of patriarchy of dominating over everything and everyone they deem weak, right? Even amongst men. Like, you're only as strong as the weakest among you. And I think that's what that would look like. You would be more healthy discourse between each other. We wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't have this, they wouldn't have this need to want to control things. Also saying they're leaders, but saying they're leaders, but don't want to do the job of a leader. You know what I mean? Because leaders actually do, right? So big ups to all my moms out there that be holding it down. And fathers, but at the same time, you know, I think that, you know, I think what I think.
True. All right, so I think I'm going to skip a couple of questions. How could men begin practicing vulnerability without outsourcing emotional labor to women?
It's going to go back to y'all need to do it amongst yourselves. You need to start having the emotional labor with your friend, your male friends, your fathers, your brothers, and go sit on that person's couch. And what I mean by that is therapy/counseling. It is not your enemy. You know, you are who you are at the core. It doesn't change who you ultimately are. It only
makes you better.
Yes. Makes you the best version of yourself. I don't know how many times I have dated men, and when I said, you get counseling or this is over. Are you trying to make me change? Okay, that's your answer. Goodbye.
Right. Yeah, we're not trying to make you change at all when we suggest therapy. Like, honestly, I would say if somebody is not suggesting therapy to you, then that's a red flag. Because even if you think everything is going well, therapy can serve everyone.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, even those things that have happened in the past that you've buried way down and tried to forget about, you know, even with therapy, that could help you resurface those things and then help you learn how to properly deal with them so they don't have to be buried. Because even if you think that they've been buried, there's some part of that situation that you're still using wherever you are in life, be it with your friends, be it with relationships with women, anything like that.
And even if you didn't experience a trauma, you know, I noticed that most men have problems talking about their emotions, right? And I had 2 exes basically say to me that there's nothing wrong with me. Why do I need to go to counseling? I said, okay, so think of counseling as an auto mechanic. Do you only take your car or your vehicle to the auto mechanic when there's a problem? Oh, no, I take it for maintenance. I said, exactly. Think of therapy as maintenance to regulate yourself, because we live in a effing dystopian time warp machine where literally everyone is being affected. We're not okay.
That part.
You can't sit there and say that you're not okay. You just look outside, it's expensive, and you know it's not okay. You know what I mean? So, what do you think is one honest step a man listening to our podcast, identifying what this conversation can take this week?
We gonna keep telling y'all this. I'm gonna say we gonna beat the horse till it's dead, revive it, and then beat it again. Therapy. Therapy. And then if you don't feel comfortable doing it with yourself, honestly, like, see about having some of your homeboys come with y'all, because I'm pretty sure there's, you know, there is group therapy. You don't necessarily have to be in a relationship for group therapy. You know, make that one of y'all homeboys outings, because just the same way women go out and do things, I know men do as well. And honestly, I think that would even be, for me, because I know how Esther feels, that could be a turn on for some women, because it's like, you know, okay, you and your homeboys, you have identified that you don't have it all together. So you're making that progress to get everything in line.
Figure it out.
Right, for yourself, and if, you are wanting a partner in the future, for them as well.
Yeah. Some other things I think people can do is reach out to one friend without a joke attached. Because I notice how men try to disarm each other by joking about serious things, which also hurts being vulnerable amongst your clan. Name a feeling without explaining it away, right? And then seek community, not just companionship. And also, I'm going to say this is an unpopular belief, but clergymen, people who in religious fields are not licensed professionals.
Not all of them. Some are.
They need to have those credentials behind their names that make them a therapist or counselor. Point blank.
I would say some do.
If they're not, they're not the ones. That's all.
Or you can get that from a spiritual perspective. But then, again, I have a shirt that says, "I talk, I pray, I see a therapist." So you can pray. I know. Yeah. Just really quickly, one thing a lot of African Americans growing up were taught,
pray it away.
Pray such and such a way.
Don't worry.
God made therapists for a reason. So, that point blank period. No more needs to be said about that.
Yep. And loneliness doesn't mean you're broken, but staying silent won't save you.
That part. That part right there.
Yeah, so we're going to do the wrap. That's it?
We done, girl.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up.
So we thank y'all so much for, joining us today.
Yeah.
Y'all know where we are every Saturday. We can't wait to see y'all next week. Y'all have a wonderful day.
And that's it.
Stay connected to Girl What podcast by following us online. You can follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Girl What Podcast. That's GurlWhetPodcast. We'd love to keep in touch with you. Come on, keep talking with us. That's what we do, right? So we have our, reflections. If you have any questions, comments, or you yourself want to reflect on anything you've heard us talk about, please don't be afraid to hit us up. Again, you can hit us up in our DMs on Instagram, or if you want to comment under one of our YouTube posts, you're more than welcome to do so. Again, both of those handles are Girl What Podcast, GurlWhetPodcast.
And you also have the option to leave us a voice memo in our DMs or leave us a voice message at 804-476-0905. Again, that number is 804-476-0905. And with your permission, we may feature it in a future episode. Your voice helps us shape meaningful dialogue on Girl What. So remember to stay in community. Remember to stay bold. And girl,